Hello, bright and shiny beacon of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, coming to you from our new home and Joshua Tree Retreat Center for the winter. We have been, if you've been following our journey, by the way, I'm the co-host of Inspire Nation show, along with my wife, Jessica Lee. We have been on a road trip this fall that culminated with filming a Netflix pilot, a Netflix, hold on one second. Jessica has suggested that I attach a better microphone. I'm not sure if you can do that while we've already started, but if you'd like, we can try. We are setting up in our new home here and getting things set up for you. And so we will try and see if we can get some better sound for you. And stay tuned and let us see here. I'm not sure you can actually switch anything during stream, but we shall see. So with that said, we've been on an amazing journey this fall, and one of the things we've been trying to find in this journey is where we go at the end of this RV tour and how we can find some peace. And that's been a manifestation miracle for us, is asking, during this crazy time, during this year that feels so out of control, how can we attract some peace into our lives? And that's a bit of what I want to talk with you about tonight, is how we can use the law of attraction and attract goodness or whatever we desire in. And specifically for us this evening, that's peace, and what it is for the long run, that Netflix premiere, which we're working on. And thank you everybody who's saying it is coming in loud and clear. So happy to hear. With that said, we've got an entire boot camp coming up starting this week, beginning Wednesday, next Wednesday, the following Wednesday, 4 Wednesdays in a row, where we're going to talk about law of attraction goodness. One of the big things that we're going to do is help you clear subconscious blocks. So a few things that they don't tell you about when it comes to law of attraction, when it comes to manifesting miracles in your life, is that we have to be able to let go of blocks. What does that mean? Well, it means if you're trying to attract goodness into your life, let's talk specifically dollars into your life, and you keep saying, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, or I can only get X, Y, or Z, then no matter how many times you say, I want $1 million, well, actually, we'll get to $1 million in a minute. I want $1 million, I want $100,000, I want X amount of dollars a month. No matter how many times you say that, if you have a wound inside of you that says it's not possible, then it's not possible. So one of the early things that you need to do, it's what we're going to be working on in this entire boot camp coming up, is start hunting for the wounds. So here's an easy question for you. What's the most important thing you would like out of 2021? And does it seem possible? Or I could use the word, even though I hate to do so, realistic. Because if you feel like you've been sucker punched in the gut when you think about this year coming up, then you've got a wound or block that needs to be addressed. It means there's something stopping you. So for instance, we're working on our Netflix show coming up. And no, we don't have an agreement with Netflix yet, but we do have a pilot episode. We do have our, I keep wanting to call it a teaser reel, a sizzle reel. But with that said, and I know it's going to happen for this coming year. That's why we're working so well with the law of attraction and feel in flow on these things. But if I was to instead say, I don't know if we can do that, I'm not sure what's going to happen, or I need to be realistic about it. What I am doing is stopping the flow. That's one of the key things that nobody tells you about with the secret of the law of attraction, is we cannot stop the flow. The flow is a subconscious wound or block. It's not a bad thing to have these wounds or blocks. You can go hunting and looking for them. So if you say, well, I'd like an extra 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is a month for 2021, and it feels good, then you're in alignment and you can attract that goodness into your life. If it feels bad, if it feels uncomfortable, not scary. Scary's not a bad thing. Scary's an energy. We can play with scary. But if something feels off about it, then you go, I've found it. I've found something that I get to clear. Now, there's some powerful clearing techniques out there. Dr. Bradley Nelson's emotion code. There's EFT tapping, which is phenomenal with this. There's literally starting by writing things out and then shredding them to get lighter. We're going to do a whole bunch of tools in our class to get you lighter. But find these things and begin getting rid of them. It's hard to learn how to fly when you're, I'm picturing right now actually two things. First off, carrying ballast that's cement bags attached to you. And secondly, wearing cement boots. So why not take the next few weeks of 2020 and look for the cement boots that you're wearing? Trying to think, I'm going, Michael, do I have cement boots that I wear at this time? It's interesting. We all get to clear no matter what level we're at. I like to picture, and actually it's somebody's name here, the upward spiral. I like to picture an upward spiral going around and around again, clearing at one level, working your way up and around the mountain, clearing at another level, working your way up and around the mountain, and clearing again. And one of the biggies for me is the I'm not ready. I feel I finally have this under control. I've done a lot of clearing work. I've done a lot of writing about this. But I'm still going to check in with myself. I do a process called automatic writing. You can find it. We teach our next class a week and a half on this, automaticwriting.com. And it's a way you can turn your journaling literally into channeling, meaning you go quiet in the morning, you put your pen to paper, and you ask questions of the universe. You say, what do I need to know? Well, one of the as one question. And a question that I will ask is, are there any wounds still in me about I'm not ready? And I want to see what universe has to say about this one and see what I can clear. So step number one, I'm not going to give you too much tonight. Come join us in the boot camp. We're going to do all of this together and then some. Boot camp is at inspirenationuniversity.com. If you haven't done a boot camp, $7 to try it out for a month. And it's a little bit more than that. Pretty inexpensive. Amazing way to change your life. It's every Wednesday night at 5:30 Eastern time, PM, at 8:30 Pacific time. The next step is to ask yourself, when it comes to law of attraction, how much energy is behind what I want? I want you to pause for a second. I want you to think of what is so important to you for you to attract. And if you're wondering what that sound is, that is our rescued pet rooster, Ruru. And it's past his bedtime. And he is, I don't know if he wants on camera here, but he is falling apart a little bit while wanting to get to sleep or not ready to get to sleep. We have his bed here. He can put himself to bed as soon as he is ready. So I want you to think of that one thing that you want for the new year. And ask yourself, what's the energy I feel behind it? So for instance, for myself, Netflix show. What's the energy I feel behind it? You know, it's twofold. It's excited and it's scared. I'll let you in on a little secret. Scared is not a bad thing. Scared, or what I call fear, is energy and excitement without deliberate motion. So for instance, if you're on the starting line of a race and the gun has yet to go off, you might feel so incredibly nervous and scared, afraid, fear. Then the gun goes off and you start running and you feel more relaxed. You feel in flow. The energy's now going. So when you think about 2021, that energy, that excitement, that wanting to get going isn't a bad thing. We've just been confused about what fear and anxiety are because they're excitement without deliberate motion. As soon as you say, let's put the wheels into place, let's start writing about what I want for the new year. What a simple, beautiful step. Let's start writing about what I want. Now you've got deliberate motion. And now that fear starts to switch into a tidal wave, even a tsunami, to carry you forward. Now, because law of attraction and manifestation are all about energy, you get to again ask yourself, how does this make me feel? And if it's like, woohoo! In fact, we have a whole tool. We're going to be teaching a bit about it in our upcoming boot camp called the Woohoo 8. Woohoo 8. Why is it called the Woohoo 8? In fact, that's the license plate I have on my shiny yellow Tesla. I'm looking a little bit less than shiny at the moment because she's getting really dusty out here. Whole other story. But with that said, woohoo is the energy of attraction. It's a word that embodies the excitement that pulls things towards you. Or if truth be told, because there's an infinitude of universes, an infinitude of possibilities. We want to talk about collapsing the wave into a particle, and we want to go to quantum and quanta. There's an infinite number of possibilities that have already taken place, because time is not linear, that have already taken place. It's a matter of, wow, hi, Ruru. Which one do we wish to draw ourselves toward? Which future do we want to pull ourselves toward? And to choose that future, we get to look at the energy behind things. If you're excited about something for the future, we can now start calling it in. If you're then it becomes very challenging. And a very interesting thing about this year, in fact, we were interviewing Wallace J. Nichols, the author of Blue Mind. We're interviewing him for a Netflix pilot. And he was talking about red mind, blue mind, and gray mind. Blue mind is calm, peaceful, bliss, sense of awe, more of a being state. Red mind can be a doing state of action, but it can also be fear, worry, and anxiety. Gray mind, to me, that's the most dangerous of all. You're saying fear, worry, and anxiety isn't the most dangerous of all? No, we can do something with that. That's energy. Gray mind is this feeling of flatness, of numbed out to the world. Woo-woo is staring at me off camera here. That's the most dangerous, because from a gray mind, we have the hardest time manifesting. I can say I have never had a rooster on my desk. No, that might not be two. During a YouTube live. He is cleaning his feathers behind me. This little dude is a manifestation expert because he got on the road in front of us and threw out all of the energy he could to say, help me, bring me home. He didn't go half-heartedly. He used all the energy and excitement he could muster to run in front of the Tesla on the mountain road. Right, Ruru? And it worked. So Victoria's saying, we want to see Ruru. The trick, Victoria, is he's on the other side of the camera and he's very calm and relaxed. If I go to pick him up right now, he may be a little bit less calm, but my guess is that he is going to, within the next minute or two, he is going to walk over here on his own. And I would put the odds at close to 100% unless he jumps off of the desk, but he loves his daddy. And so my guess is he's going to mosey on over here in a minute. I know, Ruru. I know. Actually, he's looking at how can I get down? Is it time to go to bed? So if you're feeling flat, we need to find a way to be like Ruru this fall. If we want to attract, we need to find a way to get ourselves in an excited place. Bring it back to automatic writing. If you can use a process like automatic writing each and every morning, and write about what excites you. Write about how it excites you. Write about what excites you the most. Now we begin to crank that energy up. If you go, I can't do even that. What can you do in your life that excites you right now? Is it riffing on a guitar? Is it playing the piano? Is it painting? Is it drawing? Is it a tickle fest with your family or your kids? Whatever it is that will get you in a better place, you get to do that with full, deliberate speed. As we were driving down the road and our energy is going up and going down and going up and going down, there was one driving force. We could feel what we wanted it to feel like when we found our place for the winter. Who knew it'd be this magical retreat center? Oh my God. But we could feel it. It energized us. It drew us forward. We wrote about it each and every day. And we wrote it into existence from the energetic state that we were at. So what can you do to crank up the energy? I see people in the chat room talking about how exhausted they are. I get it. This is an exhausting time of year. This would be an exhausting time of year if we didn't have COVID, if we didn't have lockdowns, if we didn't have elections, if we didn't have world crisis. That would be an exhausting time of the year. There's a reason Christmas lights things up. There's a reason Hanukkah lights things up. There's a reason all of these holidays involve light, because we're coming up on the darkest period of the year. But what can you do to bring light to your life? What can you do to bring light to everything? And I'm not going to dovetail too much in this direction, but here's what you, do I want to say it as a don't want to do? Yeah, let's go there. Look for the energy when it comes to becoming a law of attraction alchemist. An alchemist is somebody who turns lead into gold. It's somebody who turns emotion into physical things. We are alchemists, both Jessica, clearly Ruru, and myself. So I guess that's the three of us. Kitty cats as well, for that matter, because they're rescued. They called us in. We get to watch where we do not want to put our energy. We do not want to put our energy into dwelling on the negative. If you need to go to the news, I get it. Dive in, dive out. You need to check current events, dive in, dive out. You need to check what's going on with COVID, dive in, dive out. You need to check on what's going on in your favorite dark TV series. Whoa, that may not help so much with becoming a manifestation magician. If you want to attract miracles, we need to check the energy of everything around us. How do we bring the energy up? Every single which way. How do we bring the energy up? with everything that we are doing. Now, a quick question for everybody out there, which is, I noticed that we're on a different server than I had planned on being tonight. Is the video looking good? Is the audio sounding good? I could use somebody telling me how it's looking and how it's doing right now. And I've got Ruru behind me, who is cleaning himself right now. Why? Because he knows that self-care, thank you, M. Burner, self-care is one of the number one ways that we can get out of gray mind. We can get out of a flat place. Thank you, Donna, Tammy, Denise, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is so awesome to hear. So ask yourself, what can I do to raise my energy up right now? What can I do to take extra special care of myself, especially during this time? Yeah, it means things like boot camps where you come together with a whole bunch of other homies and we do clearing, we do work to raise your energy up. It means getting connected with your family if that lights you up during this time. It means taking the extra step to get yourself out, even in the darkness. Michael, I thought you were going to be talking about law of attraction tonight. I am. Because law of attraction is about one thing above and beyond all else. Energy. I wish to attract $1 million into my life. Ain't happening. I wish to attract $1 million and I feel awesome about it and I truly believe it. I believe it. With everything I've got, with every cell of my being, now you're on track. Which means we need to look at your beliefs. Because if your beliefs say, I can't attract a Maserati, and today maybe it's not a Maserati, maybe it's a Tesla, maybe it's buying something that costs a fraction of the Maserati and helping other people get their cars as well. That's a whole nother tool. That's called +1. I want to talk to you about that in a minute. But we have to align yourself with your belief system. Ooh, that's kind of cool. That comes out of my phone every once in a while, and I don't actually know what that means. I take it as universe saying, right on track, Michael. We have to align ourselves with our beliefs. I teach a lot of sports psychology type of visualization, and we're going to be working on visualization heavily in this boot camp. We're going to be doing visualization 101, 201, 301, and 401 as part of the work we're going to be doing. When I do visualization with somebody, I cannot exceed their belief system, or they will fall flat on their face. What does that mean? All right. Let's say that you believe you're working in sales and you believe that you can make an extra $50 a month, an extra $500 a month, extra $5,000. All right, yeah, I can buy that, whatever it is. And I have you do visualization work. You can look at it, see it, feel it, touch it, taste it. You know how it's going to happen. You see how you can draw that in. And you go and you visualize daily and you get that 5,500 or 5,000. No big deal. Pretty awesome. Woohoo. Done deal. We'll show you how to do that. Now, let's say that you believe you can make 50. But 500, no, I don't know how I could do that. Let's say that you believe 500, 5,000, no, that's just crazy. Or you believe you can do 5,000, but 50? Are you insane? Now I have exceeded your belief system, and your visualization won't just fail, it will fail epically. Because your subconscious, and that's where we've been going a bunch of tonight, your subconscious will jump in and shut you down cold because we exceeded your belief system. If ever there was a never, ever, 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 ever to do when you want to attract miracles into your life, and this is going to sound crazy from Mr. Think Big, is you cannot think too big. You can keep that in your heart, but don't visualize that big or you're going to trip over your feet. Instead, visualize the small baby steps that will get you to the greatness while you go in your automatic writing, you go in your journaling, and each and every day you write down that massive dream. But writing down and visualization are two different things. Yes, Victoria Marie, we will absolutely be doing a lot of clearing work in this upcoming class, boot camp, because I'm going to help you to manifest your greatest year in 2021. And we can't do that if we keep shooting ourselves in the foot. So I have to help you clear. I have to help you get light. So we cannot exceed. It's sort of like you can go 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, all right. But if you visualize at 50 or 100, you're in trouble. So I want to help you to be able to recognize that so you can do visualizations that will absolutely work. Last thing that I have, and I'm going to open it up to questions a little bit early here tonight. Actually, I got 2 last things. +1. Let's go there. I interviewed Dr. Irvin Laszlo this week. He is a multiple World Prize winner, a World Peace Prize winner, 2-time Nobel Peace Prize nominee. I'm sure he will get that. And we were talking about how we can shift the planet. And to me, when it comes to shift the planet, and this brings us back to law of attraction, because we're all thinking on an individual level now, is if we can think of one other person in all of the work that we're doing, it changes our energy to the work we're doing. So right now might be a hard time to attract that fancy red Ferrari or another thing, but an easier time to attract that chunk of change if it's to help you and to help others in the process. If you're struggling to figure out how to get your energy up, ask. Ruru is trying to go to sleep next to me, I think. And he's down. This is the sweetest thing. Oh, he's going to sleep. I'll see if we can get a sneak peek at the end, if there's an easy way to do that. Think of another person in the work that you're doing. Think of family, think of friends, think of the man or woman on the street. If we want to shift into a vibrational level of flow, it cannot be just thinking of ourselves anymore. That doesn't work. The whole idea of we must kill or be killed, good Lord, and that we have to think of ourselves first, that puts us into a place of red mind or gray mind. That doesn't mean we don't have to put the roof on top of our heads. It doesn't mean that we don't have to feed ourselves and our families. And I know so many are struggling right now. I totally get it. But if in the midst of your struggling, you think, how can I help myself and help one other person in the process? Just one other person. It changes everything. And the last but not least for tonight, because we're going to save a lot of this for the boot camp this week, and oh my God, are we going to have fun together. We are going to raise your vibration up. We are going to help you attract goodness. We are going to help you get light. $7. I want to help you create that vision. That's it. I want to help you create that unstoppable vision for the year ahead. He's gotten back up. I moved the computer a little bit because I don't want the business end of woo-woo in case he has an accident being near the computer. It's really good about that now, but I still want to make sure there's no accidents where the computer is involved. He has opened up my wallet and he's starting to take things out of it. What do you have to say about that? What are you trying to manifest? What are you trying to attract? We get to envision a new future at a level you never possibly could have imagined. 2020 has numbed us all up and left us feeling hopeless rather than hopeful, exhausted rather than energized. It's left us, in a sense, almost unable to visualize what's possible. And so we're going to help you dial into a new station. That station is MRCL, all miracles, all the time. We need to get you back into that state of dreaming, of guessing, not guessing, of dreaming, of believing, of feeling what can be for the new year ahead. As you leave here tonight, I'm going to open it up to some questions. I want you to say, what outrageous possibility is there for me in the new year? Jessica and I were watching last night. We were watching, I don't even know how it came up because we don't watch many movies. We were watching Moneyball. Movie of the Oakland A's, Brad Pitt, and another all-time favorite actor whose name is escaping me at the moment. Looking at how well they transformed the game of baseball, and they transformed it by looking at the game in a different way. In other words, they began asking different questions, and they went from evolution, one step after the next, to revolution, from evolutionary thinking to revolutionary thinking by asking different questions. And I'm continuously asking myself, I'm continuously asking Jessica, I'm continuously asking my team, and most of all, I'm continuously asking myself, what am I not seeing in the right light? What question do I get to ask myself to see things differently? And so rather than saying, how do I become a better XYZ in the new year? Ask yourself, is there a better question? I've long ago stolen Dane here of Access Consciousness. I love him dearly. We love you, Dane. I say, how does it get any better than this? And what that question itself means is neither things are going, quote, poorly or awesomely. How do things get even better? My life is going well. How do things getting better? My life isn't going well. How do things get going even better? Ask yourself for this new year, am I asking the right question? Well, I want to make a little bit more money. How do I do that? Is that the right question? Well, I want to be a little bit happier for the new year. How do I do that? Is that the right question? I want to completely transform my life in the new year, to live at a level I never even thought possible. That was interesting. I said to live at a level, and he is one of the all-time law of attraction experts, Neville Goddard. Can't recommend his work a lot. How do I live at a level I never even thought possible? Now we're getting a good question. Is the life I'm leading now how I want to lead it? Now we're asking a good question. Am I stuck in a paradigm that doesn't even let me see all of the possibilities out there? Yes, Ken Packer, Jonah Hill, love it. Now you're asking a great question. Is this really the direction I want to be going in life? Now you're asking a great question. I love what I'm doing, but how do I skip the ladder? Now you're asking an awesome, awesome question. Manifesting miracles, attracting greatness into your life, demands asking better questions. The better the questions, the better the answers. Without asking good questions, how do we get great answers? I heard it recently again, a Chinese expression, parable. If you don't know where you're going, how in the world will you get there? If you don't have clarity, direction, by asking better questions, how in the world are you going to get there? Now, this Source Awareness wrote something about COVID, and I don't have time to read that whole thing before I pause here in a minute, and then I can give it the justice maybe it deserves. Oh, we've got tail feathers on the screen right now. But COVID's been awesome. Not for the pain, not for the homelessness, not for our income challenges, not for, and we felt it personally ourselves. But it's forcing us to ask new questions. It's forcing us to get out of our paradigm, our comfort zone. It's forcing us to think +1. It's forcing us to think in a different way. Ooh, I just read what Source Awareness wrote. Awesome, 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 Source Awareness. You hit the nail on the head. It's time for massive transformation based on the imbalance, based on the challenges that it is providing us, which can be gifts in disguise. And I don't want to make light of anybody's challenges right now, but every author we've had on the show, more tail feather plumage, gratuitous plumage on camera here. Every guest we've had on the show has talked about the gift of 2020 and 2021 and COVID and all of these things by forcing us to transform, and to transform at a level beyond which we couldn't even have imagined. All right, I want to open it up to a few questions, and then I'm going to let you guys go early. If you haven't tried our boot camp, it's $7 to take the next 4 Wednesdays class in a row. And we will be doing lots of group intention setting, lots of group clearing, lots of group visualization, group meditation, harnessing the power of the group to 10x, to 100x. Your law of attraction, your abundance, your ability to transform your life in the new year. So let's open it up to a few questions here. And I am hopeful that after Ruru has cleaned himself thoroughly, he will want to come on camera for a minute. But I will leave that up to him, because he is such a gentle, gentle creature most of the time. But it is well past his bedtime. He usually takes himself to bed. Instead, he's enjoying listening to Daddy. But I don't want to crankify him by grabbing him across against his will and putting him on camera, unless that's what he desires. So I'm going to read the questions here. If I don't get to your question, and I'm going to go for the next 20 minutes or until the questions end. If I don't get to your question, and I keep saying, are there any more questions? Please post it back on the screen here so that I can be sure to get to it. Don't think, oh, he's blowing off my question. Gigi, not having a goal can be a good thing, because sometimes we think something is good for us when it really isn't. Gigi, that's why I do things like automatic writing. Each day I ask the universe, I ask Source, I go into my writing where it's really channeling. I put my pen to paper and I say, God, Source, universe, inner wisdom, what do you know that I don't? Am I on track? Am I going in the right direction? Which direction do I go from here? But I still, Gigi, feel the pull on my heart, and I'm sure you do too. These are how we know we are on track, is what is pulling us forward. We may not have the exact goal. We may not have the exact answer. Heck, Joshua Tree, where we are right now, is so much more amazing than I ever could have imagined. I'm getting to mountain bike and run through the winter, and even though I wanted to cross-country ski, this is really, really cool. I'm getting in better shape than I've ever been in years. I didn't plan on coming here. I said I wanted peace, and the universe brought us here. I said, where can we find the greatest peace and a place where Ruru will be happy and accepted? And the universe brought us here. So I let go and was open as to the exact specifics. So, Gigi, isn't it better to just live your life on an open spectrum, not wanting, not planning, and instead trusting the universe will guide you? Gigi, it is an awesome question. It's something that I've had many discussions with Tosha Silver about. And I believe instead, universe is a two-step dance. One, we're open and we listen. But then we hear, we follow or heed that call and step forward with everything that we've got. It's not a universe where we're not allowed to like chocolate or vanilla and to say, well, if I say I like chocolate or vanilla, then I'm not being spiritual. No. Whether you call it God, source, universe, Jesus, Jehovah, Allah, the Buddha, Mother Mary, anything, the giant cheeseburger in the sky, we came here with things pulling on our hearts. Those are the most spiritual pulls in the world. So when you discover what that pull is, you follow it with all of your heart and all of your might until something else pulls you. And I'm not talking an ADD, switch gears, switch gears, switch gears. I was the ultimate ADDer. I actually wrote a book on it. I was one of the first people medicated on it. Story for another day. With that said, though, that pull on your heart is incredibly spiritual. But Gigi, you must do that two-step dance. You open, you allow. When that lightning bolt hits you, you take action with everything that you've got. Love the hearts, Gigi. Love them, love them, love them. All right. RRRT66. Michael, how long does it take to transform and receive results of my new questions before 2021? Is a month enough time? That depends on many things. One, it depends how much clearing work you do. Two, it depends on how much in alignment you are. Three, it depends on, you're not going to like the answer to this one, how soon universe wants you to have it. So the joke and the secret is, if you want to manifest an elephant and it fell right out of the sky into the living room, you'd have a big problem in a steaming pile of poo. For ourselves, we have wanted this Netflix show. Let me correct that. I have wanted this Netflix show for many, many years. I believe it's coming in 2021. We are some massive steps toward it. But if it happened too soon, I wouldn't have been ready. Every intermediary step was necessary. All right, let's back up. I raced bicycles in Europe, best in the world, long time ago. Got hit by a car. Oh my God, that's horrible. Did it ruin your career? Yeah, at the time, I didn't know how to heal the way I do now, or I would have been able to get back in the game. But it was supposed to stop me. Well, that was your whole life's goal. Didn't that ruin you? Yeah, 6.5 years of PTSD. I was a mess. But then it started me on my spiritual journey. Michael, did you really turn down a book deal that would have had you on tour with Wayne Dyer and doing the I Can Do It, You Can Do It Hay House tour? Yeah. Why did you do that? Well, because it felt right to go a different direction at the time. What? Yeah, it felt right to turn down my hero, my idol, my greatest spiritual author out there, my model at that time. And what happened? Well, the 2 next books I wrote blew up. Oh my God, that's terrible. You want to be a best-selling author. You want to be a #1 New York Times bestseller. You want to get your work out to the world and your books blew up? Yeah. But the show came out of that. Me speaking with you came out of it. All of this greatness came out of it. In other words, you ask the biggest, boldest questions you can of the universe, and you do all the work that you can, and then allow the answer to come in whatever form it takes. Which is why when I do manifestation work, I always say at the end of it, for my highest good and the highest good of all, because we don't know, going back to Gigi, what's best. So we have to remain open. So can that something come in a month? Yes. Can something even better come in a month? Yes. Can something that completely seems to pull us in a different direction and feels completely off track come in within that month? Yes. But guess what? It's more on track than you ever could imagine. That's where the expression comes from. Be careful what you wish for. Because when you become a master attractor or an alchemist, you are in the flow of the universe, but the flow is here for your highest good, which may not be exactly what you asked for. Brilliant, brilliant question. William Tell, since I got my new fat tire electric bike, I need nothing else, Michael. Now what? You should try one. It's funny you should say that, William, because we just ordered some fat tires for Jessica's electric bike. And if I look to the coffee table on my right, the fat tire, look to the coffee table on my right, the fat tires just came in 3 days early, William Tell. So in 3 days, Jessica will have a fat tire electric bike. How does it get any better than this? And we are in, instead of snow country, we are in sand country right here. So it's gonna be so, so cool. And William Tell, that is a huge, huge synchronicity. So you and I, we are simpatico right now. All right, what other questions do we have here? I saw at Denise, that's a wonderful question. Let's see where at Denise's question is. Oh, at Denise, what part does gratitude play in the manifestation process? Denise, only everything, everything. Gratitude is the precursor to love. It's the precursor to the energy that glues the whole universe together. It is the precursor of all goodness in the world. When Jessica and I practice our law of attraction work, it is always coming from a place of gratitude, giving thanks for what we want, as if it's already here, but without a rule. You don't have to know, you don't have to feel every moment that it's already here. You don't have to speak every moment if it's already here. But if you bring gratitude to it, Denise, you 10x everything. Kate, I am starting a visual wishboard and it is exciting and creative. Kate, you go after that with everything that you've got. The last beautiful home we were in, this amazing retreat center home that we're in, all everything that you've got. The last beautiful home we were in, this amazing retreat center home that we're in, all came out of that visualization work. In fact, Jessica drew out the most amazing home with trails, with nature, with animals. I don't know if she had tail feathers on it. Roo-roo. But she drew all of it out. And we went into a state of gratitude. It's an exercise that we gave everybody in our last boot camp for Thanksgiving. We did a gratitude exercise for attracting goodness in. Oh, when you come join us for the boot camp, you get last week's boot camp. You get all of our past boot camps, but you get last week's one as well. And last week's was really a precursor to all the law of attraction goodness we're going to be doing. And if you just joined us, you can join our upcoming boot camp. It'll be the next 4 Wednesdays in a row, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific, for about an hour each week with your homies, with your friends, coming together. And to try it out, it's only $7 for the whole month. Then it's a little bit more expensive after that, but it's still really cheap. And each month we learn and grow together. All right, let's see what more questions we have here. Do we have any more questions? Yes, we do. William, I just went on my longest bike ride of the year from here, just outside Joshua Tree. Tried to make it. I only had a limited amount of time, but to the top of Big Bear from by Joshua Tree. And I made it about 2/3 of the way there yesterday before having to turn home, but it was fun. All right, let's see what the next question here is. Oh my gosh, the questions are becoming Fast and furious. Well, hopefully not too furious. Mike Zero. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Or Mike Zero. How does one find all the things that need clearing? I spent a lifetime putting barriers and blockades between myself and the world. How do I find out, remember where I placed them? Well, first off, you can look at the wake of your life and you can see so many blocks and barriers. Secondly, you can do clearing processes. We're going to do one in class this week. Yeah, actually, we are going to do one in class this week. You can do clearing processes like what we're going to teach you, or like Dr. Bradley Nelson's emotion code, and see where you're guided. You can also follow the energy right to your ego. This is a process we teach in automatic writing, automaticwriting.com. Right to your ego and see what he or she is pissed about. And you will find a ton of boundaries or blocks. You don't have to find all of them. You find one, you pull on that string, it'll lead you to the next. You find one, and the next one to pull on that string, and watch the emotions behind something. I had one pop up its ugly head earlier today as I was cleaning kitty litter without, since we just gotten off of the RV tour, without all the right tools, and things started spilling. And I said, I'm getting upset. And I observed that and I'm like, what's going on? And I said, childhood wound of being a screw up. And I'm like, all right, I get to work on that even more. And then I said to myself, cool. Oh man, I still got to pick up the litter. But I found a wound or block. So continuously watch what you're saying to yourself. No judgment. Love yourself up. I love myself up even after I said I was upset for litter going all over the place. But then go and do some clearing on it. All right. Michael will help me become a better alchemist. Oh, heck yeah. That's our number one tool. Each and every morning, okay, full disclosure, each and every morning, but for some reason we weren't able to get to it this morning. That's the first time in a long time. Each and every morning, you plug in, you create a handshake between you and the universe, and you write, and you commune, and you share your hopes, dreams, desires, and you go to that energetic state, and you get into a state of gratitude. You can't help but be in the creative process. We've all heard the expression, as above, so below. Your best creativity comes in the hypnagogic state, the half here, half asleep, or half on the other side state. And that's where you do all your automatic writing. That's the most powerful place to create. And I'll put up that link or one more time, or maybe Jessica can get that link up, which is, I believe, automaticwriting.com. We've got more tail feather plumage coming up right here. Not everything is peaches and cream when you wake up. Oftentimes the opposite. And then that piece just disappeared. Ignorance is bliss. The middle path not easy. Kabar is so true in that we are continuously learning and growing. So people who think, well, I'm going to go down this road and everything's going to be easy and a piece of cake. It might be, but we might get some higher level learnings. And that's great too. We get to a place where we welcome in, it's a term in Buddhism called equanimity. We welcome in all of it. Now we can still have our preferences. I prefer maybe sunshine to cloudy days, although gosh, I'd like rain in the drought inflicted parts of the country and parts of the world. But I can still have my preferences, but I will allow in and say, well, today is a nice peaceful day. Tomorrow might be some amazing learnings. I welcome in all of it. All right, next question. This part of attraction is actually not so part of my usual way of being, asking and really wishing and wanting in life. And I'm not sure where Blissful Harmony is going. But it may be that what we're saying has hit a chord here today. whether it's the clearing, whether it's the gratitude, whether it's the getting into alignment. So where do you go for what questions to ask, says Blissful Harmony. Blissful Harmony. Might I challenge you? I challenge all of us to get uncomfortable. And what do I mean by that? Start doing things differently, and your world begins to change. You brush your hair, you brush your teeth with your other hand, you brush your hair with your other hand, you drive to work if there's a job to go to right now by taking different roads. As you start to do things differently, new questions start to percolate up. Now we can also go to meditation. We can take a look down and look at our lives from a higher level perspective. That helps. I'll go back to Dr. Wayne Dyer here. When you change the way to look at things, the things you look at change. So when you start looking at your life differently, when you start taking different paths, even one little different path can affect everything. And then look at your day-to-day patterns, or look at your day-to-day beliefs. Jessica challenged one of my beliefs early on in my life, early on in our lives together. When I was saying, I'm a this, I'm a that, I've got ADD, blah, blah, blah. And I basically told her to read my ADD book. I wrote a niche bestseller many years ago called College Confidence with ADD. And she said something to the equivalent of, that's total BS. You are not this label you put on yourself. You are not the limitations that you're trying to gift me with. So look at how you're defining yourself. Look at what not questions, look at the boxes you're putting yourself in. Because those boxes aren't who you are. Jessica's been communicating with everybody. I'm going to ask her one question, not for on the air, but I wonder if she has a camera that she can take a picture of how Ruru is now camping out for the YouTube Live. This is unheard of. He's on the other side of the computer, and he is in just a state of bliss, a half-awake state, enjoying the energy of you and I together. And I do mean you. You have great energy, because together we're creating an energetic field that's got woo-woo now in a state of bliss. All right, let's see what more questions we have here. Okay, I see Third Eye has a question. Let's see if there are others. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Exactly, RRRT. That's correct. William Tell, actually, I have a Class 1 e-bike. 19.3 miles an hour is the most that she will power me. But she is an e-mountain bike. Can't quite fit the fat tire, but I'm going to see what I can do on it after we get Jessica's tires on. Third Eye Babe. How does one clear negative thoughts? Every time I want to manifest something I desire, negative thoughts hold me down. Awesome, Third Eye Babe. Because we were just given a question earlier of how do I find my blocks? Third Eye Babe, you're able to find your blocks. Bring your blocks to class. We'll help you clear them. Go to Dr. Bradley Nelson's emotion code. You can use that technique for clearing them. Go to EFT tapping. You can use that technique. Or there was one I mentioned earlier that we teach thoroughly in automatic writing, something called an ego dump, where you write these things down and then you shred them and be done with them. But don't be bummed out by the negative thoughts that are holding you back. Instead, celebrate them, because the more that they come up, the easier it is to start to get lighter and peel them all away. Kabar suggested Ho'oponopono. I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, or any different order of that you desire to help you heal the wounds in your heart. Let's see, we'll take a couple more questions, then we are going to wrap things up. These questions have been phenomenal. Finding wounds, to me, is the greatest gift in the world. Now, a wound rarely comes in that feels good. That's how you know it's a wound. And the wound always matches the teaching. You always find the wound at the same time that the universe is trying to teach you a very profound lesson. So finding a wound is a gift of all gifts because it's here to get you lighter and it's here to give you a more big picture perspective. So if you got lots of wounds, do not worry about it. It means you've got great teacher energy and you are a teacher in training. All right, let's see if we have a few more questions here. Hi, Tara. Paul Medina, is time blocking a good process to manifest my consulting and product development? Time blocking and anything to do with becoming more efficient can dramatically help, Paul. There's a concept I've been working with my private coaching clients right now, which is called MO. Paul, the more you can become Mo, the more you will manifest in your life. And that is a master of efficiency. It doesn't mean you need to work harder. It doesn't mean that you need to get more done, but it means that you're more in charge of your day rather than your day being in charge of you. All right. Tiffany, do you ask a specific for your automatic writing, or do you just let spirit speak to you? Tiffany, after practice, and it's something that I teach in our automatic writing program, after you develop a relationship with automatic writing, a relationship with spirit, with the universe, whomever, whatever you want to call it. And automatic writing is a process where you go quiet, get into a little bit of a meditative state. Anyone can do it. You don't have to meditate, be a meditator. You put pen to paper. You write out some very specific prayers and invocations, basically going into ceremony. And then the pen takes over and starts writing for you. In the beginning, you tend to get just little snippets, little pieces here and there. As you're developing that handshake, we can say within you or that handshake above you, whether you want to call it 3D, 5D, doesn't matter. It's all good. And as you develop this relationship with the universe, then you can ask anything you want and get tremendous guidance on that and help call into your life what you desire. So we start with that handshake, and then we can go to just about any question you want. Now, with that said, automatic writing spirit has a lot to say. Let her share with you whatever she wants. First off, if you don't do that, it cuts off the flow. But there's so many great teachings that you will get. But don't be afraid to as well interject the most important questions that you have too. Let's see. William Tell got a Sondora XS 4.9 class 2, 22 miles an hour, 40, made in Malibu. Very, very cool. Maybe a future sponsor, William Tell. That would be kind of cool. How does it get any better than this? All right. 3MRCH. I have a very difficult decision that I have to make and I feel stuck. What should I do? 3MRCH. I would do a couple things. First off, I would get myself to Blue Mind, get myself out to nature, out to the water, out of my current environment. Secondly, rather than going fast, I would go slow. I would go to following the breath. I would go to meditation. Certainly, if you would have the time, it's not very long to learn. I would go and learn automatic writing. But I would slow down rather than go fast. And above and beyond all else, I guess two things. First off, go to prayer, go to the angels, ask for guidance, ask for signs, ask for symbols. and then I would see how things feel. The right answer doesn't often feel easy. It just feels right. It was absolutely right for us to get on the road this fall. It was absolutely right for us to flip our lives metaphorically on their heads. And it has been an incredible gift, but it did not feel easy. It just felt right. Lisa, we send you so much healing energy. So much. All right, I'm going to see if there's one last question. Then I will let everybody go. Come join us Wednesday. The next 4 Wednesdays in a row. Heck, if you can only make one Wednesday, it's worth the $7. It will be recorded. If you can't make it, it'll be recorded if you're in another time zone. So come join us for this magical manifesting miracles, law of attraction and visualization class coming up this Wednesday and the next 4 Wednesdays in a row. Only $7 to try our boot camps. Jessica will put the link here one more time. I want to see if there's one last question. And then I will see if I can get a cameo with Ruru if he would be up for it, because he has graced us with his presence and graced us with his grounding energy this evening. All right, Avery, last question. Oh, we've been there, Avery. We sold our house and close in 2 weeks, but can't find a home. Help. Avery, I'm going to give you the advice, which is not necessarily easy, that we got from our spiritual mentor when we hit the road, which is, Avery, I don't want you to think long-term, but see if there is a short-term solution that you can find. Get yourself grounded first, Avery, then think long-term. With that said, I would go into magnificent prayer. It was 2 weeks out. Dr. Bradley Nelson, who we also recorded for Netflix, for our pilot here. Dr. Bradley Nelson was 2 weeks out, 50-foot truck loaded, and had no idea where to go. Go to prayer, write things out in automatic writing or whatever process you have, and then listen. And don't pretend to have the answers. We are in the most amazing, grounding little retreat center. Little, it's not that little. A retreat center here by Joshua Tree for the winter. And truth be told, 2 weeks out, we had no idea. I think it was 9 days out when we finally had a clue. But just like you, we were open, we were allowing, we didn't pretend to have the answer, but we were open to possibilities beyond anything we imagined. That's the key here with this. If you say, Avery, I need it to be this, I need it to be that, I need it to be this, I need it to be that, I need. What's happened here? Hands are closed. What's happened here? Hands are closed. How can universe drop any gift into our? If you have preferences, but you say, I am open. I am open to any place. I am open to something better than I imagined. I am open to maybe just something in the interim. And a gift shows up. So be as open as you can. Last thought that I have, Avery, and this really goes for everybody. If you only have 2 weeks left until you need a home, then chances are your theme song right now is Freak Out. Dun, 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 dun. Freak out. That's okay. Allow yourself to freak out. Allow yourself to go down. Allow yourself even to panic. And then love yourself up and bring yourself back and allow yourself to cycle without judgment. This whole thing of what I think about, I bring about, so I never should have a negative thought or emotion. Heck no. That negative thought, in quotes, or emotion is guidance. It's telling you your butt's on fire. Time to get moving. That's not a bad thing. But don't stay in that place. How do we stay in that place? We pick on ourselves being there. Rather than to recognize our humanity, recognize our nervous system, recognize Maslow's hierarchy dictates that we get nervous and concerned when we don't have a house in 2 weeks. We recognize that, we honor that, and then we step forward anyway. That's what you get to do. Awesome, Avery. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Keep doing that. Love yourself up no matter what, no matter how far you go down, Avery, or I am speaking for everybody, because right now, in a metaphorical sense, yours is a literal, but in a metaphorical sense, and ours was a literal, it's just like 2 weeks ago, before we land here beautifully for the winter. Metaphorically, we have all lost our house right now. In 2020, coming on to 21, yes, those are Ruru's tail feathers. Yes, we do have the most magnificent pet rooster who is on the other side of the screen, who at the very, very end, I will see if he will grace us with his presence for just a moment. We have all lost our house in 2020. We have all lost our way of being. We have all lost the way that we are doing things. We have all lost our patterns, our plans, our paths, our future in many ways. Kids are no longer in schools. Many schools are closed. Many colleges are closed. All of our futures have been uprooted right now, deliberately for our highest good. But it means metaphorically, we all feel we have lost our house. And so we could all use the same advice that you've been given, Avery. We can all use more kindness and compassion and less self-judgment with ourselves when we fall apart during this time. Because we're supposed to fall apart. It's the shamanic sense, be broken and then rebuilt. We have reassembled in a different way. Our new logo for Inspire Nation is the rising phoenix. Why? Because we're all going to ashes right now. It's just a choice. Do we want to glue those ashes back together and in a better way? And so we love ourselves up, we be open, and we step forward. And yes, Avery, keep doing the plus ones. Everybody, any decision, large or small, that you make, ask, does this help me? Is there anything I can choose that will help somebody else as well? Every opportunity you have right now to help one other person with every decision you make, with every step that you make, with every traffic light, let one more person go before you. With every time you get to the grocery, let one more person go before you. Every opportunity that you have to help one other person in the process, you go for it. Hinckley, always go and do manifestation work about a full moon. All right, let me see if I can ask Ruru. So I'm going to actually go off camera for a moment, and I'm going to see if he doesn't mind shaking a tail feather for a very, very brief visit. Now this is bedtime, and so I want to be very make him. So let me ask him and let us see. Ruru, would you mind if I put you on camera for a minute for your fans? Would that be okay with you? I know you're kind of tired right now. Would that be all right? I'll give you a little bribery. Would you like a tortilla chip afterwards? Well, he's actually almost walking on camera on his own. But he's thinking of getting down. Jessica has an idea. I have here his favorite treat in the world. And no, we are not sponsored by them. Jessica says we should be. However, this bird loves his Mexican food. And so let me see if I move the mic over here. Ruru, would you like a tortilla chip? Oh, yeah. Who's the rooster? He knows he's about to go on camera. Who's the rooster? Who's the rooster? Oh, you're... Took the chip. You didn't eat the chip. Oh, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. And so he is now having his chip. May I pick you up and show you to people for just a minute? Let's do this. So this is Ruru, and he is probably seriously overtired right now. He has earned his chips. You are the sweetie of sweeties. This bird knows abundance. This bird knows manifestation. And as Jessica says, this bird may be a little bit of a crank monster in the morning, but I don't think so. I don't think you're going to be cranky at all, because I think you had such beautiful energy during the YouTube live tonight that you are going to feel inspired and on fire in the morning. So one last chip for you. Don't try this at home. I'm a trained professional. That was the sound of munching chips. And now I'm going to let you guys go. You can hear him crunching in the background. Don't worry, tortilla chips is not the main staple food of his diet. He has probably the best, most rounded diet of any rooster on the planet. Love you guys so, so much. Can't wait to see so many of you Wednesday. Come join us for the boot camp. It's only $7 to try it for the whole month. This month is on Manifesting Miracles, West Coast of the US, recorded. You can't make it. Obviously, other time zones for all around the world. Love you guys so, 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 so much. We'll see you Wednesday. Whee! I couldn't even make that happen if I wanted to. And keep on shining bright. Love you guys so, so much. And thank you, Jessica, for running everything behind your scenes. And thank you to our Inspire Nation Dream Team, to Universe, to Ruru, to the kitty cats. Love you guys and see you Wednesday. Keep on shining bright. Woohoo! Well said, Ruru. Well said.